Alright, so we got to lift it up there into place, and yeah, it's crazy, huh? And we just need to slide this air conditioner off. See what I can do here. The old satellite, I guess, was here, and then the new satellite's there. Really, I don't even use this, so I could take it off, but it's not hurting anything being there. And if somebody ever wanted it, it's there, I guess. Yeah, I just decided to lift the antenna. We just got to be careful of this wire as we slide it around and get around that antenna. I'm replacing the antenna anyway, but I don't want to break the base. But yeah, oh, you know, when I put that down, I wonder if it's gonna. Oh, I think the aluminum hits that, and then that's the alarm to let you know the antenna's still up, which is really a pain in the butt. Oh yeah, I need to disconnect this still too. I didn't bring a single tool up here, so hopefully I don't need tools to disconnect it, which I don't think I do. I think I have everything pretty much close to being ready. So this is the old control boxes. Oh, I am gonna have to get in there to get this undone. Son of a gun. Yep. I need a screwdriver. Dag on it. All right, well, we can unhook all this because we know we got pictures of it. Let's take one more picture just in case. You know, you always can never have too many pictures. Just in case. All right. That's good. Add the orange, the blue. Oh. And then the freeze. Thermostat, which I got new ones. Actually, that's freeze. The old one was thermostat room. Signal. Yeah, so I have to go down and get a screwdriver. You gotta be kidding me. Yep. Oh, MacGyver, you should have carried one with you at all times, but you don't. All right, well, I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I just had to go get a screwdriver. This is disconnected already, just so you're aware, if you're wondering. It looks burnt. It's kind of crazy, these look burnt. I'm not sure what that's all about. They're broke. I'm gonna have to put a new one of these on there anyway, probably. But get these covered up. Not that I need to be, just because. You never know. It is interesting how hot these got at one time, though. Not sure what that's all about. Get these things shoved down in there. Just pull it up here. Oh, it's still stuck. So heavy. I'm going to clean all this up real good before I put it all back together. And of course we'll have to clean this before we paint it. Couldn't get under here with the pressure washer, and then you don't want the pressure washer afterwards either. Looks like this used to be maroon and they extended it, and it looks like they did the same thing on the back. Of course I'm going to extend a little further because it's easy to paint this, right? And it's not easy to paint that. So, but there is a thing there, and it does say no step beyond that thing. We do need to take that and get it all cleaned up and then paint that as well, so it's not rusting across my cab there. All this needs to be painted again, but you know how that goes. And all the way down the side, to be honest with you, needs to be painted again as well. It's all coming up. But one step at a time, let's get the riffs done, and then we'll worry about the body. The looks, don't really. We'll get that eventually. Okay. Whew. Wear me out. It's just the bend over. Lifting that stuff bent over. It's tough. Tough on the old back. All right, let's do the Mr. Rogers thing and get down from here. Whoo! Alright, so the only thing we have left to do is go up there and cut some cardboard to the size of the holes, because we're going to redo the entire roof, and we don't want the other units right back up on there. So otherwise, if you're just swapping them out, you'd put those Owens right back up there, right? Clean that off, put the Owens down, and you'd be good to go. But we're going to go put some cardboard over there. We'll just tape it in lightly so that it keeps the heat in and the dust out, and then we will then we'll move on to the next step. All right, I think that'll do it. That'll just keep it from junk getting in there. And we'll come up and clean all this in a bit. But yeah, that's just a good temporary cover. All right, so we're back up here. I've hauled everything up, the heat gun and all that. I'm gonna start by pulling this cap off, and I'm just gonna kind of work this moon roof, then get over here. I'll clean this up. I'm just gonna use Windex and some rags and get it clean. And of course, I'm gonna clean the whole top as I kind of work my way backwards too. But yeah, we'll just kind of work on this as we go. I don't know, I'll check in with you if something interesting happens, but other than that, it'll be on speed. But yeah, all right, well, I'm just gonna kind of putz along and do what I can do. I really don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm just gonna kind of start stripping stuff off, right? right, so I've been at this for a little while now. It's actually coming along pretty good. It's slow, but I mean, if you just take your time, there's a sweet spot. If you get the stuff hot and then you just let it cool just a little bit, it kind of comes right off. So yeah, we've got a couple piles of junk here going. I'll probably have to get around the rest of this when I pull this cover off and stuff, and see we have these two to do as well. And then yeah, just a couple I'm going to do around the ladder back there where it's getting old. But other than that, I mean, it's looking pretty good. I'll probably do around the antenna there. Anywhere it looks like it's old, you know. The newer stuff I'll probably leave alone. It's fine. So we'll just keep on keeping on, right? Oh yeah, I got it around this one too. But that wasn't bad. It didn't take that long. And this is the biggest one, right? I'm going to go ahead and pull this cover off. I'm going to get those sockets and all that, and then see how these are to get off. I may end up just ordering, I'm going to order new caps, but I ended up ordering new fans. I think I have one that's not working anyway. I think it's this one. This is no, that's the bathroom. So it'll be that one up there. That's the kitchen. So I'll test these out. Anyone that's not working. The problem is mine are on switches. So you just hit the switch and it does it all for you. And today's they're on remotes instead of switches, and they're just straight to power. So I'm going to have to find one that can be on a switch. Those are hard to find, but, and I need to measure it out anyway to get it to fit right. But so we'll get this cleaned up. I'll get the sockets. We'll see. And the screwdriver, and we'll see if we can start pulling this apart and see what we have, and then we'll figure out what we need to order. I have a feeling I'm going to put 3 new fans in though, because I mean, I'm up here, you're pulling it off, it's a mess, it's got cracks in it, you might as well, right? I mean, if we're doing it, let's do it right. So I'll see what they cost, see if I can find them, see what they cost, and we'll go from there. I know I can put new caps on. We're definitely doing that. These caps should have been replaced a long time ago. He just covered them instead of putting new caps on them, but that's whatever. These Max Air covers are not very old, so I think for the most part, I think I can reuse those if I can get them cleaned up enough. That'll be the biggest thing. But we'll see, and maybe I'll put new Max Air heads on them too. I mean, they do sun fade over time and get bad, so. All right, let me get the sockets, get this cleaned up. I'll have to get a little trash bag, get this cleaned up, and we'll go from there. But I can tell you this, I am plenty warm now. That is something I am. It is. With that thing going, I think I burned my finger like 3 times. I'm going to have to put some tape around this finger because that's where it gets the heat when you're pushing. So it's definitely going to blister up tonight, I think. But yeah, anyway, it's coming along. Let me go get that stuff and we'll get busy. All right, I went ahead and pulled this cover off and looked at this. Boy, this does not look good down there. That fridge looks like it's rusting out. That compressor and all that. Been in there a while. I have a feeling the fridge is on the chopping block pretty soon, and we'll just switch over to a 12-volt DC compressor if we do that. But yeah, I'll pull this off and then I can clean this up a little bit and see what we got going on in here. All right, so it's really good to get that thing out of there. It was all cracked up in the corners and everywhere else, so it definitely needs a new life. And it looks like a little crack going right here too that I'll need to fill in. But other than that, it looks really good. I got to decide what I'm going to do with these vans, if I'm going to replace them or not. They're a couple $100 a piece, but I mean, I really should replace them, honestly. 2 of them don't work the greatest. The knobs are broken off and stuff like that. I think the shower one actually works, but I don't know what to do yet. I'll have to research that and figure out, talk to my wife and figure out what we want to do. In the meantime, I'm going to clean this up, and at least this will be cleaned up. I'll have to clean these brackets up for those Max Air things. I'm going to reuse them. There's nothing wrong with them. They just need to be cleaned. But I definitely had to take those 2 off to get this resealed correctly. And then I'll have to bring my other cover up here and see if it even fits right. So this is over the shower. So it's good. I can clean this out anyway and get this whole mess cleaned up. All right, so this one's really interesting to me. First of all, the heads of these things are totally rusted off. They just cracked off, right? On 2 of them. 3 of them came out. There's one more in there, but I can't get it. I may have to get down and get some vice grips. The other thing is there's a mud dauber in here blocking half the thing off. And lastly, it's not high enough, so it's not even sealed. So the water could get down around the side of that. Now it does have a cone that comes around, but shit stuff can get in there for sure. So I'm glad I'm doing this. I wasn't going to pull these little caps past there, and I was going to put the new thing on there, which I wouldn't have been able to do with this one, so it would have drove me to do it anyway. But what I'll probably end up doing is cutting it lower, putting a splice on it, pushing the pipe up higher, and then putting a new one of these on there. So that's going to be more to this one than meets the eye. So we'll get it pulled off. Probably, like I said, cut it lower, splice it, and then have it stick up just a little bit higher. It's too low. So I don't want to go so low I can't get an extension on though, but with an oscillating tool, I can make it level with the roof, put the splice on there, and it should clear and stick out. We'll see. We'll play with it a little bit though to make sure it's going to work, but you know, you got that much room to work with. But yeah, these need to be replaced anyway. So, you know, all this plastic stuff, it does its job. I mean, they make this quality stuff. It's just been on there for 20 years, you know. So, and I'll need on the new one for the new one that moves with the wind, so that the exhaust is always going out and doesn't take a downdraft. That one has to come above this anyway because it has to connect to that. So there'll be some modification on this one anyway. So there you go. So let me keep going. We're doing good. We're cruising right along. We're getting stuff taken off. I mean, we did a great job. Got the fridge done. Cleaned the top of that off. I'll probably put my blower in here and just try to blow through. I don't think there's much in there, to be honest with you. It's a little rusty, but honestly, it's cleaner than I thought it would be. I pulled a couple pine needles and stuff out of there, but this actual vent system actually works good for keeping stuff out. And then I thought I was going to buy a bunch of rot, and this stuff's not rotted at all. So it's, I guess they laminated it or whatever with like a gel coat or something on there, or maybe a resin coat on there or something, but it's really holding well. All right, so let's get back at this. I'll try to pry this up and then break this bolt. If I can't get it with these little needle nose, I'll have to climb down and get some. And that's the only bad thing is when you're up here, you're kind of lazy about getting tools. You use what you have in front of you, but I'll probably have to get some vice grips to get that locked down. I've got to get some trash bags though, because my mess is like spreading. I have to be careful not to spread my mess. And then the bolts, I'll probably keep the bolts just so I know the sizes, but we'll have to put all new bolts up here. I mean, these things are all starting to go bad, right? And I think I'll go the next size up on everything when I put it back in there too, just so it's nice and tight. So, all right, well, I'll be ordering a bunch of stuff tonight. I can already see that in my future. All right, so we got up in this GPS sender. We got us a whole new mess. I just thought it was like starting to rust, the plate was. But I mean, that's rusted out all underneath here. That's crazy. So we got to figure out what's going on here, clean this all up. I'm actually going to pull this plate. I don't know if it'll come up or not, and see what's going on underneath it, because this is scary right here now. Man, I'm glad I'm doing this, to be honest with you, but man, I had seen the rust coming off, and I thought, well, so when I hit it with the power washer a couple times ago, wow, look at that. It lifted some of that paint, and I thought, well, I'll have to paint that. Yeah, well, it's beyond that, isn't it? So I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, obviously it was been that way for a while because it was just painted the color of the coach. So maybe it's original, but wow. All right, well, let me clean this up the best I can, and I guess we'll tape this whole thing off and then spray paint it back. But what a mess. What a mess. If I can take the plate off, I can get the plate down, clean it all up, paint it, and then put it back up here. That'd be best. But we'll see. I don't know, because that wire goes right through there. And of course, it's cracked and exposed. Yeah, I never have used the GPS. I guess it's magnetic. That's a magnet on the bottom there. And that's what caused all the rust, evidently. I don't know. But what a mess. All right, well, let me keep cleaning up on this, and then we'll go from there. All right, so this is an old antiquated GPS system anyway. I'm just going to cut it off. I don't even care. I wanted to pull the system out anyway. It was draining the battery. I've unhooked it. It doesn't work, and it's so old, right? So you got GPS on your phone. There's 1,000 ways to do GPS, so I'm just going to cut it and take this plate off here. I think it's going to be fine underneath. I think it just has a hole in the center, plus now all these 6 holes for this plate. But if I can get rid of this plate, it'd be really good to get this off the roof and just fill them holes. All right. Try not to screw up the paint job. Of course, it needs to be painted anyway, but. All right, so now that's wonderful. So that is just fiberglass underneath. So now I can just clean this up, and I don't even have to worry about it. Fiberglass doesn't get ruined. I may paint it white because I'm going to have the top coat out here, and I just want to seal this off. But I'll just seal all the holes, and then I'll keep that stupid rusty plate off here anyway. So now I just need to clean it up without tearing up the paint too much, because they painted right over the caulk. But I'll clean it up the best I can, smooth it off, clean this, and we're in a way better place. So I don't even have to screw with that metal plate that's on top of the roof for no reason. Ugh. All right, we just got a bunch of holes to seal, that's all. But I'll seal that off when I do the rest of it. So good timing. Alright, well, some of you may think I'm crazy, but I'm really happy with that, because then I can just goop in those holes. I'll top coat this thing white and basically that square, and I'll be happy with that, because I won't have that rusting plate up here that I was always worried about. So this will be great. It's back to fiberglass. We'll top coat it to protect the fiberglass, and I may clean it up just a little more on the edges and stuff, but I've actually got it pretty daggone good, to be honest with you, for what I can do, you know. I do see a little bit here, though, that I need to trim off, but everything else looks really good. Of course, you know, we'll come back and we'll get it all cleaned up before we paint it. And of course, I think I'm just gonna come up with the blower, to be honest with you, and blow this off after I get done, because I'm just getting stuff everywhere. For the most part, it's clean, and I'm trying to keep it clean. We're gonna clean it all down before we paint anyway. So, all right, so that's really good. I'm glad to get that done up. We will have to do those lights. That'll probably be a separate project, and I'll try to do that from a ladder or something. I'm not sure. All right, that was a pretty good day. My moonroof that I ordered off Amazon, it didn't fit. I hope I don't screw a company, but I'll have to ship it back. That really sucks. Yeah. I would use it. It's too short, but I would still use it. I mean, the flange, because that's way back. But it won't. The flange on the side to side, the holes won't fit. So it definitely needs to be wider. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I will continue to look. I think that's the biggest one that I could find. So I'm going to have to do some searching maybe some Colin and figure out what I can do, because that ain't gonna work. If it didn't have the holes already pre-drilled so far in the side flange, then it might work, but they're right, I mean, they're pretty far in, and they're just not gonna grab anything. And then I don't want to goop a bunch of holes that are gonna be cracking, I mean, if I don't have to. So I'll do some searching on that tonight and try to figure that out as well. Got lots to figure out. Need to get these caps ordered, need to figure out what I'm doing with the fans, and yeah. All right, but really happy about that front, getting that plate off there. That's gonna be great. It won't be rusting anymore. And I'm glad I did, because it was so rusted on the bottom side as well. And then it had a hump, so I mean, it was gooped all around, so it was holding water. So that gets rid of that altogether. So just really happy about that. I'm happy about our progress altogether. I mean, just getting this all cleaned off. I need to get this ordered tonight too, this fridge bottom plate. But just getting it all cleaned, this all cleaned off is great. Get those two things cleaned off and the antenna cleaned off probably tomorrow, depending on the weather. And we'll go from there. But really happy with the progress, honestly. It's looking really good. Yeah, the only place I'm not gonna mess with, I'm not gonna take that solar panel off. I'm gonna leave it just like that. I'm gonna paint around it. The sun doesn't beat up underneath there, right? So it should be absolutely fine. We'll get as far up under there as we can and then just call it good. So that's the only, believe me, that's the only place that I'm not gonna do. Oh, I won't do underneath that antenna either. I guess I'll be painting around that as well, so. Okay, so that's the deal. I'm gonna clean up and try to find that moonroof, because I'm really concerned about that, and then we will go from there. All right, if you haven't already and you're enjoying the content, or you just think I'm a fool, please like and subscribe. I appreciate it. That's the best thing. That's really the great way to help me, other than watching the commercials for 30 seconds, is to do that. So thank you. All right, I'm out.